Welcome to the CHRILLCAST. I'm Will.
And I'm TiMMy.
And I'm Billy. I was going to ask you before, too.
Welcome, guys. This is a Wild Card Wednesday. We're not doing our normal conversation with the CHRILLCAST. We're going to have a, wild card topic. So let these guys introduce themselves first.
I'm TiMMy, and I am from Tell Me More, and I talk about random stuff that happens on the internet and things that don't happen on the internet and things that happen kind of on the internet but also not on the internet.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
How do I follow up to that?
Good luck.
I'm Billy. I make game content sometimes. It's cool. It's fun. I like it. Yeah. Thanks for watching. It's awesome.
Yeah. So the first thing that I'm going to recommend for your guys' channel is to hire a spokesperson.
Wait, you didn't like that?
I worked on that for like 4 days.
Yeah. Well, if you guys are interested, links will be in the description for their channels. All right, so this is Wildcard Wednesday. Today we're going to be talking about, it's launch week. We didn't mention that on our Monday video, but it is launch week. So both the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 are coming out this week. And we were going to try to prognosticate a little bit and decide which console is going to sell more. That's not the console.
It's a weird looking Xbox controller.
I know. It's like, it's so strange.
I don't keep that trash upstairs, but go on, guys.
Yeah, so who do you think is going to sell more and why? And talk about some pros and cons of each console.
We're talking about refrigerators or video game consoles?
Oh.
Refrigerators, Xbox. Video game consoles, probably PlayStation.
I feel really bad because no matter who's going to start first, the other one's going to have all this time to think. But I'll take it away. That's fine. That's fine.
We're not debating. Okay.
No, it's good. It's not.
No, you're very aggressive.
No, it's. I know, you damn right.
You got damn right. Hold me back. Go ahead.
So, with the PlayStation, they they have these really cool games that are coming out only for the PlayStation and not for the Xbox that are really nice. Like you have legitimately though, like not all jokes aside, the reason I'm getting a PlayStation 5 over the other one is you have Spider-Man. I mean, I'm just so straight
mad about Spider-Man. Oh
my God. So awesome. And like on top of that, man, like you could not pick a better exclusive. I know it's coming on the PS4, which is still like a little underwhelming in my opinion, but you could not pick a better starting title to like open up the floor with. Like literally won countless awards, and now it's getting a kind of sequel, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I know Insomniac has been jumping back and forth on if it's an actual like full playable game or if it's just like a remaster with a lot of newer things. But there's a lot of things that I like about it, but it's kind of rough. The only thing that I say like is really going to give them that winning edge is having those games like on launch, because a lot of the specs are very similar. They both have solid state. They both have really good power.
Wait, what about the power?
Like they're both powerful systems.
Well, but which one's more powerful?
I was just curious. I was asking.
Okay.
For the fans.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's fine.
And speaking of fans, who's got the bigger fan?
who needs the bigger fan because they have heating issues? But
white square.
Jokes aside, but I would say that PlayStation they have it. I'm gonna let you guys go, and I'm gonna let go ahead, talk about your system. That's fine.
All right. One, I like the shape. Actually, so like in all honesty, like the PlayStation 5 looks way more futuristic, and I honestly think that's a really cool design. Router jokes aside. And when the Xbox was revealed, I was like, it is literally a box. This looks ridiculous. But it's really grown on me because it has that like a nice form factor. It really going with like the actual PC shape this time. And I can see how they're always talking about how the system is meant to blend into your entertainment center, and you're not supposed to see it. And I can totally tell that probably will happen. You're gonna tuck that sucker in there, and I mean it's not gonna draw any attention to it. Whereas the PlayStation will. And I don't know. I don't like having a very loud entertainment center as far as like a lot of colors. I don't like a lot of things going on there. I like being pretty simple. So from that perspective, I like that. But as far as like, it is more powerful, which finally it happened again. I know it's a little bit
like tiny,
but it's still there. And it's exciting because it reminds me of the original Xbox where that came out being more powerful. It didn't sell nearly as well as the PlayStation 2, but besides the point. And then the next two generations were considerably less powerful than the PlayStation, and that was always kind of a bummer because although they had really good games, the Xbox One didn't have as many good games. You always kind of wondered if it was being held back because of that. And then they got the Series X, but then every game was also compatible with the Xbox One, so you never really knew if any game actually used the Series X power. So I'm excited that they're starting off on a good foot with that.
Let me ask this. I want to interject. I know we're not debating. I would never debate, but
oh yeah, I'm gonna
power.
But what are they both doing with their controllers? Are they both doing some pretty cool different things with their controllers, or is that just PlayStation doing?
I don't want it to be.
So we're not debating. I'm just asking.
Yeah. So I want to actually play with the PlayStation 5 controller before I have a solid answer for that, because right now it looks more gimmicky to me, and because there's a lot of interesting things happening with the PlayStation 4 controller and also like the PS Vita that never gets used. So the touchpad thing never happens. The speaker is rarely used on the PlayStation 4 controller. So I mean, on paper and what they're showing, it looks really cool. But for me, I've never been like, man, I wish my controller had like a speaker in it. And it's like all these other random the haptic feedback and stuff. Like I don't really care. I just want a controller that I can play good games with.
Right.
I really like the Xbox One controller already. I think the PlayStation. I think the 360 was my favorite. And it's essentially the same, which is cool. But something really cool about it is that it's backwards compatible with the Xbox One, and the Xbox One controllers are compatible with the Series X. So I can transfer it back and forth between my consoles, which is really neat.
That's pretty cool. I just think that I'm telling you, listen, gimmick wise.
You're waiting to pounce. I can see it in your eyes.
No, listen, I love the one thing I do really like is like I'm with you on PlayStation and gimmicks. Like I really didn't like the touchpad that much. It was cool, but it wasn't like besides Little Big Planet and like 3 other games, it was like non-usable.
When I first saw that though, I was like, that's a game changer. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And then nothing used it.
Yeah, and that's like I will disagree with you though. I do think that haptic feedback is going to be amazing. Like I really do think that and granted, a year from now I might sound like a big idiot, but like I really think that it's going to be really cool to feel the web slinging out of Miles's wrists, or like pulling the trigger on a gun is going to be and I feel they haven't said it yet. And I really want to see if it is a feature that is kind of turning the vibration off on the game, where it's you don't have to have haptic feedback for everything. But I still am really interested to see how different games are going to use it. I think it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, same. I'm kind of excited about that, to be honest. But I'll be totally honest. When I play shooter games, I turn my vibration off. So.
Okay, but
I read it in a magazine a long time ago, and ever since then, turned it off. MLG players did it once.
I never even thought about turning it off. I don't know. The controller, the vibration thing is, I don't know. I remember when that first started happening. I was like, this is pretty cool, but I don't know. It's sort of annoying. It seems
even though I've been abused by them, the Elite controllers, I've had 4 because they break.
Holy
I know,
crap.
Right? And they're so expensive, and they break. And they know it, and there's a lawsuit, and they don't. I don't know if you know about that or not, but you guys should talk about that on another episode. But yeah, there's a lawsuit right now. The thumbsticks drag and stuff. And long story short, the first time, because there was such a big issue, they still gave me a new controller, even though my warranty had expired. Now they're not going to give me a new one on the Elite 2, even though it's got a tiny bit of drift. I'm not that worried about it. It's still super annoying for a controller that is so expensive. Mm-hmm. And the problem is then you start to love it. And then you can't play with you pick up another one, you're like, what is it? This is light. This is I'm gonna throw that out. You pick up that controller and it feels so good. The under buttons, once you get used to them, you can't not use them, especially for certain games, Rocket League in particular.
Oh, I suck so bad at Rocket League. Oh my god.
Yeah, me too.
Once you put your boost and your jump on the bottom, it just is a life-changing experience. Yeah, it's pretty great.
I think talking about in different games and stuff like that, I really do want to see if they end up making an Elite controller for the Xbox Series X, I know you can use it on that, but I would like to see a next generation version of it.
And please do it. Like, don't make it broken. You know, like
Yeah.
the last two have been broken and they're so expensive. That's all I want to say. One more time, don't buy one right now until they fix their.
I'm gonna touch on that stick
Please.
drift. I like the thing that gets me is like working at the place I've worked at. You know, it was common with literally like every generation of sticks. Like Switch had it. PlayStation has started developing it in like the end run of me being there, and then like Xbox was like really notorious for that.
On them?
Yeah, drift is like such a crazy.
Drift is something that happens eventually over time with any controller, but you would think with an Elite like mine, especially, like, I don't know, I'm meticulous. Like, I never dropped the thing. I never like abused it. You know, I play like, I don't know, dude. I'm fickle, but I'm just saying. I'm like, you know, I babied it, and then it doesn't work right, and like it's.
No,
that I say for the sixth time, like,
no, that's part of the partnership that Microsoft and Nintendo have had. Like, you know, Microsoft put some games on the Switch, and they helped them design the controller.
Share the drift.
From the lawsuit, I remember reading something about like it was a lubricant on the first version, the Elite One, that they put on the sticks that ended up malfunctioning. But they said one of the things that I read about the Elite 2 and one of the reasons that I got it was because it said they had changed the function of how they made the sticks. Actually, you take those sticks off, you can tension how like hard each stick is individually. And I thought by reading that, like, oh, great. The one issue I had with the last one is fixed already. And now one of my under buttons works like 50% of the time. In Rocket League, when you have 50% of the time on boost, it's not a good day. This drifted in a controller is really hard. I'm going to just shut up about the Elites. But I felt like, you know, I'm actually still waiting on a callback from a, you know, one of them higher ups at Microsoft. I'm sure they'll.
Phil Spencer, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll see this. Yeah.
I know you're talking about Rocket League, but whatever.
Yeah, sorry.
He knows.
Oh man.
All right, I guess back to the topic.
Yeah. So, what exclusives are coming out for the Xbox?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this guy when it's smug questions.
I totally admit it. Like,
I'm just asking.
There's nothing coming out that I want. The only game that I want is freaking Spider-Man, which, I mean, you said it's on the PS4. I'm probably going to buy that PS4 now because I want the Spider-Man games.
Right. That's exactly what I was going to say. I'm sure it'll drop, and even then you can find one online for cheap. That's exactly what I'm going to do because I really want to play that Spider-Man game so bad.
I honestly, like, I understand how great of an exclusive Spider-Man is. And I understand that, but it's so frustrating that an IP like that is exclusive.
I know. And I'll be honest, the reason that I told you I couldn't like engage in a good faith debate in this is because the reason we play these games is because of the titles, because of what they are.
Yeah.
And I hate that like Sony, I hate how stubborn they are. You know, I'm going to remind everyone they were the last ones to come to the table when it was like, hey guys, we're going to do like cross-party play. And they're like, no more games. No, get out of here. You know? And everybody else was like, hey, okay, we'll just try it. Oh, like Fortnite accidentally let it happen once. And everyone loved it. And then they were like, by the way, Sony wouldn't let this happen. Like, everyone, look at them. It was them.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, no, dude, I agree.
That, by the way. I love how they're just like, you know what, Apple, Sony, they don't care.
No, dude, I agree with that, though, because, like, that was, like, not being a Sony fanboy for 2 seconds. Like, I really... It kind of bummed me out when like things like Final Fantasy VII Remake were like being announced, and I was really excited for it. And I have both consoles, but I was like I wanted to at least like have the option. And for people that don't have the both option, like and have an Xbox, like and I think that's the one thing that's going to take people and make them start buying a lot more PS5s is because these single player experiences that we're getting are only coming on like Sony and are only coming out for that console.
Well, you know, speaking of single player, I mean, Microsoft did just buy some studios recently.
I will not get into my very angry rant about that, but I'm saying meh to that is what I'm.
You know, honestly, I hope that they are not. I don't know like what the business plan is behind that, but at least Elder Scrolls I hope is not console exclusive. I would like for it to be on PlayStation as well. I know it's blasphemous coming from like an Xbox guy, but that's an IP that people have loved for forever, you know? I realize the first one was exclusive on Xbox. I know it's sort of exclusive on the PS or the 360, but...
I don't know what Billy just did.
Sorry, dude, I'm sorry.
No, your face wasn't... I couldn't not laugh at it. I'm sorry.
I spilled my pop. I'm sorry.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm almost sad, Will, that you just said that because
I
honestly,
mean,
you gotta fight fire with fire, man. Sony's stubborn.
yeah, true.
You gotta be stubborn too.
Screw Sony. We're gonna have Elder Scrolls.
Right.
We're gonna have Doom. We're gonna have Wolfenstein. We're gonna have that new one. We're gonna have Dishonored.
Yeah, we're playing Hardball now. How's it feel?
I don't care how long this conversation's gonna go on. I'm gonna rant. So I'm angry because they bought Bethesda, and Elder Scrolls is a big one. I think they'll lose a lot of money if they make it exclusive. I'll be dead honest. But like they should have just said like, oh, we bought Elder Scrolls and not we bought Bethesda, because like every title besides Doom Eternal that all of those other franchises have released in the last like 2 years has just been like Youngblood was terrible for Wolfenstein, and oh my god, what was the other? I can't even think of the other ones. Like Dishonored, Death of an Outsider, and like.
Right.
Bam!
Yeah, they won't make them exclusive, man. I just don't, because they're too nice. If they were Sony, they would be like, oh yeah, no,
for sure,
ours now.
Sony.
Bye.
Why would you share your gems with other people? I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying Xbox is going to, because they're nice.
Though, that's definitely a big plus for buying Xbox, because more than likely at least one of those IPs is going to be console exclusive now. And at the very least, if you have Xbox and you get Game Pass, you're going to have all of those games day and date for essentially for free.
Okay.
Yeah. Whereas, PlayStation, you're going to have to go to the store and buy it.
You're going to support local brick and mortar stores and keep them alive.
Actually, you can still support your local brick and mortar store by going the Xbox route. You can go to GameStop.
Yeah, your mom and pop GameStop.
Exactly. Sorry, mom and pop stores. Actually, no. Still, if you get the Xbox, you can still support them because you can play the backwards compatible titles.
Look at there.
Mm-hmm.
Go buy it from a pawn shop. the older titles. I'm just saying. Yep. That's a mom and pop shop. There you go.
Any other pros or cons of these systems? Which one do you think is going to sell more out of the gate this time?
I can give you guys. I could drop some statistics if you guys.
Yeah, drop me some statistics to it.
I'm just gonna say PlayStation before you.
Yeah, PlayStation always does.
Before you prove that it's PlayStation, but yeah.
Well, at least like for my because I can say it, dude. I'm not. So I worked at GameStop. Obviously, you guys probably watched. Yeah, but
what? That was the place the whole time.
But oh my god! But like all of the systems they had, like for Sony, man, like. I've never seen a line bigger, like in terms of a console. I've only been there for a couple console launches, but like Xbox, there was kind of like there was a smaller line and they got a smaller allocation, but I seen a lot more people like trying to kill each other over PlayStations, and like the pre-orders we did have, like I had like meltdowns in the store because I was still there when they did the pre-orders for those. Like it was. I seen a lot more PlayStation stuff fly out the door compared to Xbox, but, it might have also been because of allocation. Like, it's 50-50, but I do think PlayStation's going to sell a lot harder. I've seen a lot of their accessories and a lot of their games, like fly through, even for people that didn't pre-order the PlayStation, like, just banking on the fact that they might get a PlayStation. And I took a lot more phone calls from people, like, a lot. Like, it was probably, like, at least 4-1 on calls for the new systems. Again... Could just be my store, but
yeah. Do you think that Xbox is going to catch up, or do you think it's going to be super lopsided again this generation?
I think, you know what? Here's the one thing I'm going to say, because I already feel like both of them dropped the ball with this whole pre-order debacle. But I think if Xbox can beat PlayStation to the supply, I think people will buy Xboxes before they'll get PlayStation. Because the problem is PlayStation just can't put out right now. Like it's. Like, I think if I'm not wrong, and you might want to fact check this, I could be wrong, but this is what I was hearing when I was at least working there, is Xbox had a lot more than PlayStation, but then when Xbox dropped their load of, like, pre-orders, like, it was, like, half the amount of PlayStation, but then also they're doing that financing plan, so it's kind of... I think that might be a big benefit for them, too, so it's hard to say. Like, I think if Xbox beats them on the supply, I think they might win this.
What do you think, TiMMy?
Well, you ready for my tangent?
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding.
I will
say this. They're in cahoots, all right? Our conversation is void because they're in cahoots.
Are you in a conspiracy? Oh, I'm ready. Go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Follow me.
Tell me more.
Follow me. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, think about it. We're watching on the same day. They haven't put out consoles in 7 years. Very strange.
Yeah. They've never. Well, I guess the Xbox.
I'm just saying, though. I mean, honestly, they want what's happening. They want us to be fighting about who's best, and this is what they want, and I'm happy because I'm just glad they don't do it every year to us. I'm glad they don't play, that hyper game like Apple.
Cell phones. Yeah. I also like the fact that like no matter which one you have, I think some people still look down on the other console, but it's not like I feel like when you have an Apple, you have joined a different class, and like, oh, you don't have an Apple, you have an Android.
Oh, one of those green box textures.
Yeah. It's like I don't know, like I don't feel that way with consoles. Like I don't know, I still have Chris is gonna probably get the PlayStation, so I have friends that have PlayStations, and we don't look down on each other.
Again, I'm gonna get a PS4 just so I can play the games I miss.
Exactly. I will get a PS4 like even this year if it drops down considerably.
Breath of the Wild is like something I really want to play too. Beautiful game.
That'd be really cool if you guys buy a PlayStation 4. That would be awesome.
Yeah. All right. So I guess my prediction is that PlayStation is going to sell more, and Xbox will catch up once they have all of the Bethesda games.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you're right.
Yep. There you go. That's my prediction. Oh, I guess you guys want to make a prediction of how many consoles they're going to sell this generation? Do you think PlayStation will match the PS4, or do you think that those crazy numbers are not going to happen again?
If they can put out like a college lady, if they can put out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking every time you said it. But go on.
I know. Every time I said it too, I'm like, oh God, that's a weird word. If they can put out the amount of systems that I think that if they can get the supply, I think they will most likely top PlayStation 4's sales. Like truthfully, there's a lot, especially with everything going on. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot more gamers now. There's a lot more people really adding to the conversation of gaming in general, and like all those people that are stay-home workers now, like even myself, have a lot more time on their hands to be able to play games and like really dive into the media. So I think they can if they get the supply.
Yeah, fair. Do you think Xbox will do better this generation? Because I feel like even though they're not launching with Halo, they have to be doing better because that Xbox One launch was awful. Even though they sold out, they actually did sell out their supply, but like it didn't have any momentum because of the debacle with E3.
Right. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. I obviously don't if I feel PlayStation is going to sell way more consoles. Also, we've got an insider informant here who is 4-1. Okay.
I guess, but does it matter? And another weird thing is that Xbox doesn't seem to want to sell the console. They're more concerned about the services. Right. So, do you think that they're going to still make more money than Sony this generation because of that?
My thing is, it's the same thing me and you were talking about before we started this call, Will, is like, I really think the people because look at the consoles now, there's a reason that there's still a physical version, and there's like, it's really cool to be able to have all that access to games and stuff like that, but like, they're going to keep going further and further the digital route, which is fine, because a lot of people are going that way, but like, I think it's going to be more about what they have, like, in terms of like services are nice, and it's going to be cool to offer all these different games I can play for like not as much money, but like, if you don't have the substance to back those services up, I don't think it's going to be like you can have like Borderlands 2, which people have had for like years, and like throw a bunch of different Borderlands titles on there and a bunch of like dollar games. But if there isn't like fun stuff to play on these services, like it's not going to be nearly as powerful as a system that's putting out like one AAA amazing single player title or like one AAA multiplayer hit. Like, I think if Xbox amps up their services and really like starts throwing their big titles out there, like Bethesda and all their big games on it, I think Xbox could win it. I think Xbox could really push over PlayStation, but I just don't see that happening until they start showing momentum with these companies that they're buying. Because they bought like 17 last year, and they did like one thing with one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they're up to 23, and we're really not seeing anything yet.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Conker's
Do you have
Bad Fur
anything else to say there, Timmy boy?
I really don't, man. I just kind of excited to see what happens.
Yeah,
How
I'm
many-
excited for both.
how many sold for each.
I think this generation is much more exciting than the last one. So I think there's actually seems to be a much bigger leap in technology. Both companies seem to really putting money where their mouth is, and I don't know. I'm excited either way. I wish there was better games for both systems at launch, but
Yeah,
we'll
not
talk
just-
more about that on I think Friday. All right. With that, as always, I'm Will,
And I'm Timmy.
And I'm Billy.
and we'll see you on the next CHRILLCAST. Bye, guys.